Hey everyone, my name is Rob. Welcome to my channel, The Movie Vault, where I want to help, advise and inform you guys about 4K, Blu-ray, DVD and movie collecting. If that's something you sound interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Let's get into today's video. Thanks for joining me once again on a video here on the Movie Vault. You may have seen my previous video, top 5 4K Blu-rays, older movies. If you haven't, I'm going to stick a link up in this top corner if you want to check that out. So now in today's video, we're going to do the top 5 4K Blu-rays, newer movies in my movie collection. I will point out before we get into this top 5 countdown list, these are just my picks and the movies I've currently seen as of making this video. There's a lot of other stuff that I just don't have in the collection or I haven't seen at the moment, but this is my top 5 4K Blu-rays, newer movies. Let's get into the countdown. Coming in at number 5 on my list here is the 2017 movie directed by Guillermo del Toro. This is The Shape of Water. I have this really cool, as you can see in the glare there, this is a 4K steelbook that I picked up online. Beautiful is a really good description of this movie. It's beautifully shot. It looks great, beautiful looking movie, crisp, clean, clear picture. Shot digitally, of course. The creature looks cool, really reminds me of the creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm a big fan of those old Universal Monster movies. It does have a bit of a green look to it, not necessarily a tint to the picture, but there's just a lot of green in the movie. I guess it's like a color scheme or a color theme they were going with when shooting the movie here. As I mentioned, directed by Guillermo del Toro, stars Doug Jones, who's fantastic as the creature in this one, and Sally Hawkins is really awesome in this. So that's my number 5 pick here on the countdown list, The Shape of Water. My number 4 pick in the countdown here comes from last year, 2019, directed by Todd Phillips. This is the fabulous Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Amazing picture quality off this 4K UHD here, this 4K Blu-ray. There's detail in this, or on this 4K disc, I should say, that I couldn't even see on the 70mm print we had in work in the cinema. Fantastic stuff, great quality, unbelievable. There's a great Dolby Atmos mix on this one. Looks stunning. Digitally shot, as I mentioned. Joaquin Phoenix is outstanding in this role, and he picked up the Oscar for this, and rightly so. So I do recommend checking out Joker. 2019 is my number 4 pick. My number 3 pick comes out of this massive Christopher Nolan box set. This is the 4K collection here, and it is 2017's Dunkirk, shot on film. As we've kind of talked about in the older movies countdown video, you can rescan film and, you know, restorations look fantastic, which obviously didn't have to happen with this because it was shot recently in 2017. Nolan is a big proponent of shooting of film. So pictures unbelievable here. I talked about Top Gun coming in as like my top pick for aerial plane fighter jet photography, and Dunkirk comes in here at a close second. Fantastic photography in this one. Director of photography, I believe, was Hoyt van Hoytema. Brilliant work by him on this one. Dunkirk looks absolutely amazing in 4K, and it is my number 3 pick on the countdown list here. Coming in at number 2 on my top 5 list here is 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, of course. I got to run this on 35mm film. Again, it was shot on film. Tarantino, again, he's a big supporter of shooting on film. I'm a big fan of Tarantino stuff. I know a lot of people aren't. I feel this had really brilliant cast in here as well. Absolutely stunning picture here on this 4K Blu-ray release. Pristine, absolute fantastic looking picture. Comes from that 35mm negative, as I mentioned. No need for restorations or anything because it's a brand newly shot movie, I should say. Absolutely love it. This was my favorite movie of 2019. Director of photography on this one was Robert Richardson, so do check out Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's my number 2 pick here on the top 5 list. So we finally come to the number 1 position, my top pick here for top 5 4K Blu-rays, newer movies. Actually is the oldest movie on this list, way back in 2008, so it's 12 years old now as of making this video. Once again, we're going back to the Christopher Nolan box set. This is 2008's The Dark Knight out of this 4K box set. Looks absolutely stunning in 4K. I just believe it can't be beaten for picture quality in this list that I've compiled here for you guys. The opening IMAX sequence is unbelievable. The detail in here in the 4K is absolutely amazing. All the underground chase and stuff with the Joker truck and the tumbler looks looks brilliant as well. I believe all that stuff was shot in Chicago. Big Christopher Nolan fan, you guys know that. I said it here all the time on the channel. I believe this is Christopher Nolan at the top of his game. His second movie of his Batman trilogy, The Dark Knight. I believe it's the best movie out of that Batman trilogy that he did. I have to mention director of photography Wally Pfister on the Batman trilogy here with Christopher Nolan, because it all looks fantastic, shot beautifully. This can't be beat as far as 4K quality for me. This makes the #1 pick in my top 5 4K Blu-rays, newer movies here on the Movie Vault. Okay guys, there you have it. That's my top 5 4K Blu-rays, newer movies in my collection here. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I just wanted to kind of compile a list. If you are new to 4K, just getting into it, I wanted to recommend some movies here. So with these two videos, the older movies and the newer movies, I believe I've given you guys a good selection of 10 movies that are a good example of what 4K should look like and can look like, depending on how the stuff was shot and how the transfers are pulled off and that kind of thing. Hopefully I've given you some good examples. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with any of these. What about some newer movies? Have you got any of these? If you're interested in picking up any of these, I'll leave links in the description if you want to order them and add them to your collection. I highly recommend that you do pick up these 5 movies for your 4K Blu-ray collection. That's going to do it for the video guys. Of course, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel and consider hitting that little bell again to get notified every time I post new videos. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.